As a real estate agent, one of the most common lead-up questions I usually get asked at a consultation meeting is this: can you find me an undervalued property? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Because who doesn't want to buy a property today at 10 years ago pricing? In today's video, I shall talk about the difference between undervalued versus profitable properties and what you should be looking out for. Hi, I'm James Lim, founder of Property Plus System, and today I will share with you the difference between undervalued and profitable properties. Now, let's discuss what is the proper definition of an undervalued property. Number one, an undervalued property basically means it is selling below the bank valuation. Number two, these are the characteristics of an undervalued property. Number one, it is usually hard to sell. Number two, it has low transaction volume. And it's because it is hard to sell and has low transaction volume. Now, because of the seller, the owner of this property, wants to let go of this property fast and they have to upgrade to something else, or they have a reason to sell the property, they are more desperate to sell and therefore they are more willing to sell below the bank valuation. Now, this type of properties is also aged normally more than 10 years old or 10 to 15 years older. Of course, the last one will be, who will this type of properties be for? Number one, this type of properties, because they are older, therefore they have a higher rental return. Okay, and these are people who are seeking for higher return or rental properties. Number two, what is a definition of a profitable property? A profitable property basically means it is a property that will, when you sell that time, it will give you a better return of investment. What are the some key features of this type of profitable properties? Number one, there has normally a very strong demand of a property. Because it has a strong demand of a property, people are more willing to pay above the bank valuation for such property, and hence the valuation will go up. Number two, it is normally located in better locations or in growth location. Number three, the age of property are normally young, less than 5 years old. And who are these type of properties for? For people who intend to make money, okay, who intend to buy an investment property, keep for maybe 3 to 5 years, and maybe they intend to sell and build on their wealth to have to earn more money. Okay. Next, let me share it with you and put it into a Venn diagram on how do I explain the difference between an undervalued versus a profitable property. Now, looking at my Venn diagram, you can see that the profitable property is inside the subset of an undervalued property. Therefore, what I mean is that for an undervalued property, it is not necessarily profitable. However, a profitable property can be undervalued. Let's look at the different case study that I put up for you. I have two case study, and let me rewind back down to 2015 historical time. And why am I talking about this type of properties is because these are the properties I was considering to invest in when I was younger, 5 years down the beforehand. Okay, so let's look at 2015. We have two properties. One is called the Queens and the other one is called Commonwealth Tower. These two properties are located in Queenstown. And at that time, I was actually recommending to my investors and telling them what to buy. Let's first look at the Queens. In the picture below, okay, it shows that it is the price data of the Queens from 2010 all the way to 2017. Okay, so if we were to look at the data, you can firstly see that over the period of these 7 years, it has actually grown by 27%. Okay, and looking at 2015 to 2017 data, compare with the all-time high in 2013, you can see that it is below valuation. Right? So we are looking at the price of around 1137 per square foot. Alright, and next to it, there is a new condo that is coming up called Commonwealth Tower in 2015. And at the time, which is developed by Hong Leong, it is priced at 1,600 to 1,700 per square foot. Given these two choices at the time, which will you buy? Now, let's wind forward to 2020 and let's look at the price now. For the Queens, at the time it was selling undervalued or below bank valuation at 1137 per square foot. And now the price is selling in 2020 is at 1284 per square foot. Looking at the price difference, if you were to keep it for 5 years, you have made around 2.3% per year. This is roughly pegged to our Singapore inflation rate, which I find it quite reasonable. But if you want to look at Commonwealth Tower, at the time, let's take an average of a mid-floor range that is selling at 1650 per square foot, and looking at the data that if you were to sell in 2018, where the price was at the all-time high at 1982, or if I just price it lower to do some market crash at 2020 and to sell it at 1950, your return of investment will be more than 5% per year. Looking at these two numbers, I hope you can understand that Commonwealth Tower definitely is a better investment. Or you will earn more wealth or earn double of what you have put into Queens. Let's look at another new project in the Queenstown area. Now, Queenstown, for Queen's Peak, it was launched at 2017. In 2017, the price was launched at 1650 per square foot. So, now, if we look at 2020, you can see that it is selling for 1800 per square foot. There is a return of investment of 3.33%. However, if you look at the Queens, looking from 2017 to now the data, for over a period of 3 years, your return of investment is actually 0. So therefore, the Queen's Peak will have made 3% compared to the Queens. Let me show you a second case study in which I was also recommending to my clients. Okay, so let's wind back to 2015 again. I have these two projects at Bartley Residence. At that time, there was a big hoo-ha that the government is going to enter into Bidadari and to revamp that area. So there is two projects. One is a 5 years old project called Bartley Residence, and we have another project called Botanic at Bartley that is launching at that time or constructing at the time. So Bartley Residence at that time, you can see the trend from 2012, which was selling above 1400 per square foot, has dropped down to 1100 per square foot. Therefore, it is 100% undervalued. Would you buy at this property at 1173 per square foot? Comparing to Botanic at Bartley that was launched at 1300 to 1400 per square foot range at that time. But so let's look at the data right now. In 2020, what you see for Bartley Residence is that you can see that the price start to fluctuate. And if you were to enter at 1173 per square foot and you were to sell now, the price that you'll be selling at 1267 per square foot. Alright, which is total is roughly around a 1.5% per year. But if you look at Botanic at Bartley, if you were to buy at 1300 per square foot at the beginning over here, and upon TOP after 5 years, maybe you have stayed for 3 years already, and looking at this project, it is now selling around 1500 per square foot, which means it will give you a 3% return of investment per year. Comparing these two, definitely you can see that Botanic at Bartley, which is a newer launch property, will earn double of an undervalued property. So in conclusion, let me teach you how to find undervalued and profitable property. It is very simple. Basically, to find an undervalued property, you just have to find any property, ask the bank the valuation, and if the valuation is less than what the owner is selling, means it is undervalued. Alright? Or you can also go to some websites like HProp, okay, where you can key in characteristics such as undervalued properties, and the data will come out where they will actually give you a percentage to tell you how low is it below the valuation. To find profitable property is slightly harder. Through my years of experience, I've actually come up with a property plus system and a 4P model for me to help my clients find profitable properties. Okay? And using these two models, I'm able to identify what are the properties that are more profitable in nature, where I believe it has a higher chance of building your wealth. So this is the conclusion that I have for you. If you'd like to find out more, please feel free to drop me a text at the number below, or you can actually if you like this video, you can actually smash the like button or comment below. Thank you and bye.